excited is your group to be back in Carver this weekend?
Very. It's a great opportunity. There is no place in the world like Carver Hawkeye Arena in wrestling. There's great cities in wrestling, but for a venue, there's nothing that has the tradition or the years and the people and the legends that have come through here. And obviously not just in wrestling, but, sell out last night when it's 4 degrees outside or 1 or whatever it was. I mean, it's magical. So, of course, they're excited and they know their opportunity. They also know what's on their shoulders, too.
You have some pretty tough competition coming in with
Yeah.
with Life. How much of a challenge does Life provide?
There's, just like what we met at National Duels, right? You have a team across from you, and they fully expect to win. They plan on it, and it's it's one of those things where they're just coming into our house to do it, and it's time to go.
Do you feel a little bit like Clarissa has talked about it before the season too, about like a little bit of a target on your back when like National Duels, you have the other teams rooting against you?
Oh yeah. This is what these women have built. That's what they're working towards. They understand that we put this on our back because we know that those 4 letters mean wrestling, and so we're to this point. They've been to the task, and so we believe that Sunday is a great opportunity. We're going to face a team that Coach Flavin is the first, women's coach that is a woman that won National Duels. And so she and her squad, they fully expect to win. And they came up here, they went to Soldier Salute. We met many of them there in the finals, and they did great work. And so we understand that that's coming. And, they came here, they spent a whole week here. They trained here. They were, they came, they worked through Soldier Salute and then stayed over for National Duels. And now they're returning just 2 weeks after. And so they get it. They fully understand.
How much have you seen Lily step up with the injuries at 136?
Well, I mean, this is always next person up, right? We hate seeing that. We were fortunate enough to have Nenea back in the room today with us. But, it's those things that, you don't lose one top 3 ranked or top 4 ranked athlete. You lose 2. And now we have an opportunity to have an incoming freshman, Iowan, and step forward and get to wrestle in the best house there is. So we're excited for her. And you saw at Soldier Salute what she's capable of doing. If that's supposed to be your third, and she's a finalist and in a match right up to the very end with a great wrestler, we can't ask for more than that. We don't deserve it, that's for sure.
What kind of passion and work ethic has JC brought to this program?
Well, that's what you hope when you take on a transfer. You take in hopefully all of the positives that they're bringing from their previous training environment, and for them, she's an epitome of that. She came out of 2 programs, one that had been the best that there had been, in America for 3 years running. And she was on the backside of that. And the coach that built that then went to another university. She followed that coach. And so, obviously, what that tells us right up front, that she has loyalty. And when she gets into a training environment that she likes and she masters that environment, she's going to thrive in it. And she thrived enough that she was willing to pack up and go with the coach. And so we expect her to have that, but I would tell you openly that she's been amazing to walk in when people don't give loyalty that don't have it. You either own it or you don't. And if you own it, then you are capable of transferring that to another person if they deserve it and earn it, And we knew up front that we would have to do that as a coaching staff. But the nice part about our program right now is that our women are so good of a fit for them that people that come in, they have to be a fit. And we tell everybody that wants to come and put on black and gold that, that they have to be a fit. It has to be a win-win. It has to be a win for them. It has to be a win for the University of Iowa. And when that's done right, then we have the opportunity to bring in someone like a JC that brings a lot of experience with her, championship-style wrestling, and we couldn't have asked for more, And then we've got Liv right there that has been going, and she's won 3 matches that brings everybody to their feet, That 5-point throw that she threw at National Duels, that woke everybody up. So,
how important are these middleweights going to be, considering that's kind of seemed to be where North Central got back into it?
Yeah.
And
right.
Wife is obviously very capable there.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, King, McKendry. And it's a lot of times it's that way in our sport, right? The middle ground, you tend to have more weight classes because you have to, because the bell curve of the population fits that. And so those weight classes tend to be deeper over time. And so when we are putting 2 and 3 freshmen in those 3s through there, there's going to be a learning curve. And we believe in our women, and we believe in the room. And we just came out of a practice just now that I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope they did. But they work hard, and they expect to rise themselves. And some of it, we just, you can't make a freshman a senior. And we our strength coach talks every day about stacking. You stack every day, 1%, 1%. And so we're going to gain, and we're going to make gains because we got the right room, and the women, they work together so well that they'll make gains. Can we make enough? We're going to find out, We've got to find out. We've got to make enough that we can put ourselves in the match. One of those, if you leave me in it, I can win it, So.
What stood out to you about Reese during this year?
There's so many things, okay? The first thing is that what we hope for with any time that we get an opportunity to work with an athlete is we want them to flourish. And I believe in my heart she's flourishing. I think that her growth on and off the mat, her wrestling IQ is as high as anyone's. And she has a fascination, and myself, we share a fascination with Russia. And we enjoy great wrestling, and she's a student of the game. She loves watching it. She loves learning from it. I'm not to the point that she is on the music. She likes the music, but she loves all of it. So her wrestling IQ is extremely high. What I was, sometimes a wrestling IQ that's really high, it gets set in its ways, and she hasn't done that. She stayed adaptable, so her AQ is as strong as her IQ. And her EQ, if we're talking those, her emotional coefficient has leveled very well. She is she's a person that upsets her opponent pretty easy because nothing phases her. You can hit her upside the head, and she just, okay. And then she moves on, and it's what makes her the counter wrestler that she is. She is, I think, one of the best counter wrestlers in America, period. And, if you put her under attack, you're taking a risk. And so, love that about her. But the flourishing part, she caught me off guard 2 days ago. she opened up our room a little bit wider to people in need, and those people were in a really serious challenge in life, and she introduced our program and our team to those people that are in that fight, that struggle, and it's stuff like that's when we're flourishing, when we can develop our own and then share our culture with one another and then make each other stronger through that. She's a great wrestler, but she's helping many others become great wrestlers. And I can say the same thing for Marlynne. You know, there's another one that transferred in. She's showing us great leadership. She's bringing a lot with her, and that's what allows us to be doing the things that we're doing. We are truly blessed.
When you're mentioning the interest in Russia, is that like everything about Russia? Anything in particular?
Oh, I don't know. At the end of practice today, we shared the fact that we love St. Petersburg, you know. We love that city. It is a city that was built a really hard way. And, you know, I don't know. There's a lot to, you know, if you have a country that has 13 time zones, I mean, it's 3 times our size. And so the culture and the richness there, it's all, but again, that's what I mean by that. I don't want to belabor that, but it's not that she looks at Russian technique and says, that's really good technique, I should learn some of that. I mean, since 1956, they've been in the top 2 in the world, right? So I know that here we don't always honor that well enough, but wrestling's wrestling, and that's great wrestling, and she sees that. So I like I said, I think that her appreciation for some of it is more than mine. I mean, musically and stuff like that, but no, it's good. It's really good.
Last question. Or not. Okay, never mind.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. So Gary was mentioning 2 days ago that you brought, kind of walk me through what that was like.
Yeah, so my dad first introduced me to this family and told me how they were, his name's Liam, he was in the children's hospital, just going through one of the many battles that happen over there. And I was like, I mean, I live here, it's like a 2-minute drive, why don't I just go visit him? So that was the first encounter. I went there. I was able to visit with him. He had just gone out from surgery, so I didn't get to have much of interaction with him, but I got to talk to their parents, learn more about his story, and just the fight that he's been on. You know, it's really cool to see that there's so many different levels of, or people just have so many different battles that they face, right? And we have our own, but then to see and share what others are going through, to really put your own life in perspective and to be just grateful for what you have, or the things that you've gone through, is something that I really enjoyed being there. And then, yeah, I just was like, wanted to give him more of an opportunity. He's a big Iowa fan, so I'm like, to be able to share my team with him and then to get him into the wrestling room and see all that stuff, I thought would be a cool thing for him. So,
What was it like for both of you to be able to see him in the wrestling room and get that experience?
Yeah, I think our whole team, it was really fun. He's just so cute, and it's cute to see him, you know, the whole thing was meaningful. We sung happy birthday to him, and like I hope we can have interactions like that on a weekly or daily basis. I mean, we love having people in the room, and especially a little bright boy like him.
yeah, it definitely makes the room brighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, there's times where you go into the wrestling room and it's a little bit hard to get going at first, but to be able to have that to get your morning going, just seeing happy birthday, make someone's day like that, it was easier to get started in practice that morning for sure.
What's it like this week going up against a really good Life team?
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's the same plan as always. I think we train hard and we work hard and we support each other, and so I think it literally is the same as every other week, and we're going to go into it. And I think, you know, the girls, we all believe we're the best in the country, truly, and we have each other's back in every situation, and I think same plan as always, we're going to go and dominate, I think.
Yeah, I mean, basically that. But no, I would say giving the team the respect they deserve, right? Knowing that we're going against a very tough Life team, and but also knowing what we're capable of. Not letting giving them too much respect where we hinder our talents and our strengths. So, understanding the challenge that we're up against, but knowing and trusting our abilities, and every day that we come in there and prepare for moments like this, big moments like this, to be able to wrestle in front of, our amazing fan base and go out and do what we do, and to be able to entertain them, right? Because not only are we expected to win, we're expected to dominate and entertain these fans, and that's something that we always have the mindset of, and we're privileged to be able to have that mindset to motivate us.
Do you get any flashbacks to Soldier Sloop, or you lost that one?
No, I mean, that was honestly, as crazy as I sound, that'd probably be one of my favorite matches that I've ever wrestled in. Those matches are hard to come away with a loss in, but I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about, me not giving up as many points, like making them earn it, right? I think it's more frustrating when you feel like you gave them those points instead of them actually earning it. So, but those are just things that you need to learn. And but to be able to entertain those fans and the support that they showed me after that match was something else. Some people even said it sounded like I just won. So that was a really cool thing to experience. The loyalty they have, right? And they appreciate your efforts and their hard work, and they see it. So that felt good. But no, one of my favorite matches for sure.
How much would you like to avenge that? Since that kept you from a second Soldier Sloop.
Yeah. No, it'd be amazing. And then to be able to also do it in front of the crowd, I think hopefully some of the fans at Soldier Sloop will be there, so they'll know how much that match means. And I just believe in what I'm capable of, and I know that it will be a very different match. But I just have to go and prove it, right? Like, I can believe that, but until I prove it, right, it doesn't mean much. So I think I have the different mindset of it. Like last time I was like prepared for a war, right? Like that was going into my head. I knew she was a hard hand fighter and a war happened. But I had to talk with Coach Chun, okay, when you say that to yourself, it happens. So this time just going into the mindset, I'm prepared to get a tech, I'm prepared to get a pin, I'm prepared to be down by 6 points and come back and get a tech. Like, I'm prepared for absolutely anything will happen, and I think that's going to be the mindset that helps me get on top this time.
For both of you, how much have you seen Lily step up at that 136 where you've had some injuries?
Yeah, I think Lily from day one has shown a lot of commitment and work ethic every day, honestly. And one of her words that I think she always goes back to is relentless, and I think that truly is Lily's character. And with her, she's a freshman and she's stepping into that role, and I think she's been doing an amazing job being in that role and rising to that role, and giving her best effort. And so I think she's an amazing addition to this team, and she's young and she's got a long, good road ahead of her, but I think she's really stepped up to it, and she does the work behind the scenes too.
Yeah, I think it's just nice for us to have such depth, so when unfortunate circumstances do come up, like, it's not anything to worry about. Like, okay, next person up, you have to step up. And like Marlynne said, Lily's someone from day one that's put in the work and the effort to basically be prepared if a moment like this has arisen, and I think that's going to continue to pay off for her. And she's still young, and it's a hard thing to do as a freshman, to be able to step up and get in the starting lineup and to wrestle in front of a lot of fans. Like, yes, it's something you dream of, but that doesn't mean that it's easy, right? You feel that pressure, especially going out there and knowing what it means to represent Iowa in front of the Iowa crowd. So I think her and the other freshmen that we've had start our lineup have done an amazing job at being able to cope with that pressure and go out and just let it loose, let it fly.
Yeah, I think too, like looking at our duel against North Central, we had a couple freshmen in the lineup, and North Central has 15 returning All-Americans, and like Clarissa said, every point did matter, and those girls, we scored a point in every single match, even if they were kind of the underdog. Like, they did their job and they rose to the occasion.
And then, if I'm remembering right, you faced a few life people. I think one was maybe at the NWCA thing. Yeah. Are you kind of aware that, okay, now they might want to avenge that?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think at the All-Star match, I kind of wrestled her match, and I was able to win wrestling her match. And this time, I'm going to wrestle my match, and I'm going to dominate wrestling my match. And so, now that I have, because I think all of the McBride sisters kind of have a unique feel that is a little bit different than most athletes that we go against. And so I think for me, I got my hands on her, and now I think it's going to be worse than last time for her, unfortunately.
For both of you, what's JC brought to this program, and how is she as a teammate?
Yeah, JC, I I think we're all excited to hear that she pulled her red shirt. She's a great teammate. She's, I train with her sometimes too, and she's a great training partner. She does bring some experience to the table too, because she's a transfer, and so I think she's a great addition to the team, and she's stepped up when she needed to and filled that role greatly.
Yeah, I mean, we're always blessed with how young of a team that we had, especially last year. Any time that we're able to get an older girl, a veteran of the sport, someone who's been in college for a while, has had that experience on the national level, to be able to help us, help the younger girls like myself, just understand what the process looks like, is huge for us. Like I said, with being such a young team, to have that guidance throughout, because like all the other teams have, right? When the new freshmen come in, they're paved the way. We kind of had to do that for ourselves last year. So, yeah, JC's been great just to be able to help in that aspect of things. And, yeah, glad to have her on the team.
Where did the interest in Russia start?
Good question. I'm glad you asked. No, it was when I first started to, like, get a bigger interest in wrestling, when I actually started to fall in love with it and, like, love everything about it. I just started watching videos, and when I first found it, like Japan and the women's, Russia's been the best. Obviously, the USA team has beat them a couple times in the past few years, but they've been at least one or two for the past, as far as we can remember. And so that was when I was like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing that makes them so good? How do they train? What's their lifestyle? That's a little bit different, something I can't do. They don't even go to school. They just, eat, sleep, train. That's all they do. So I try to do it as much as possible, but also throwing the school part of it. But that's where it really first started, was I just was, like, fascinated by their consistency of being the best. I just want to learn more about that. I love the way that they wrestled, their style, and just keeping in mind, obviously, with them being men's and wrestling men, and I had to still figure out different ways for if I wanted to implement that stuff, I had to do it in a very careful way to still make sure that it made sense for my wrestling and who I'm competing against. But that was definitely when it first started, was just I wanted to learn what it took to be the best and what their life looked like.
Have you been there before?
I've been to St. Petersburg, so I went there in high school. We got to do a trip. One of my favorite trips, as you can imagine, at the time. But and I remember, I think I went to Worlds in 2015, Senior Worlds, when it was in Vegas. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't have the understanding of wrestling as I do now, and all the wrestlers. Like, Sajulai was at that one. You had a bunch of the other guys, so I wish I liked the sport as I do now. But, yeah, that's definitely where it first started.
Russian music, is there like a go-to song
for you? There is, and everybody will hear it actually on Sunday, because it'll be my walkout song. It's a Russian song, so I'll keep it secret now, but I'm excited for people to hear it. They're not going to know where they are in the moment, but it'll be good.
How did you start picking up the Russian music?
I think it just came along with, like, being fascinated by their culture. I want to eat, like, the food always looks good, the coffee, and the music, and I just genuinely do like the music. There's some, obviously, that I'm like, it's hard when it's, like, full Russian. It's like they're speaking Russian, I can't really understand it. So mainly the beats.
She even dresses like a Russian sometimes at practice. With her
and I do the Russian dance.
Yeah.
So there's a Russian dance.
There's more to it.
There's much more to it. There's more secrets to it. No, yeah. The more Russian I look, the more I could wrestle like them, and that's the secret.
This is going to sound ignorant of me, but how do you dress like a Russian for practice?
Yes. So mainly with
she
like
wears
their
singlets.
Practice. So singlets down to your knees. Down to your knees. You have, like, leggings under your shorts, or you put long shorts over your leggings. That's another one. Compression shirts. They always wear compression shirts.
Well, the long shorts, too, they generally go right past the knee.
Yeah, and then so I've even custom sweatpants to make my own long shorts. It's a whole process. I'm committed. I'm committed. Yes, custom sweatpants. I call them my custom Sajulai shorts. Yeah, they're great.
And then, like, the Russian cooking, or the Russian food,
I haven't
cook?
cooked. I haven't cooked it yet. I think that's the next step. I think that's definitely where we're getting. I like that you brought that up. I think I'm going to have to get that. Next team gathering, it's going to be all Russian food. They're going to love it.
Is she picking up any, like, Russian team nicknames or anything for all this?
Nicknames.
Not too much, but we always just, if we walk in, we always know that Reese chose the music, and I think we all tease her for her singlets and her long shorts, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah. They're yelling out Delvai now during matches, which is a Russian word for go. So if you ever watch a match with Russians, that's all you're hearing the coaches say. So I'm like, guys, just say that.
Delvino?
Delvai.
Delvai?
Yep,
Okay.
It means go. It's great.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, you guys are good.
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
You need to learn Russian now.